I haven't talked to you in a while. What's going on?
Not much, man. I literally just got back to work.
Wh-
Um,
Can you divulge where you're working?
I am working at a coffee shop.
It's pretty cool. Is it like a Starbucks or like wait, I'm hip with the Canadians. It's Tim Hortons, right?
It is Tim Hortons.
It's
You
Tim
got it.
Hortons?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I'm working at Tim Hortons. Yeah,
That's
it was
cool.
under renovations for like the last month, so I've been like out of work, and I finally went back on Monday, so I'm finally making money again.
That's awesome. When was the last time? How long was your break?
Um, it was about a month. I
Okay.
checked my calendar to get a more accurate date, but yeah, about a month.
That's cool. And just so like I don't want to dive too one of the things that I want to do in this series is like dive into a little bit of like behind the music kind of thing. Can you divulge
Okay.
a little bit more about, something that you've like always kind of narcissistically wanted to say about yourself? Like, just can we get a little more information about who Cursive is? Like, are you in school? Like, what's your deal? What are you working on?
Um, Oh God. Let's see here. I am currently not in school. I did 1 year of university and I didn't like what I was doing, so I didn't go back the second year. And I'm thinking about maybe going back for a trade coming up this fall. And I also plan on moving. So yeah,
Were you thinking about
there's
moving? You
some.
staying in Canada?
I'm definitely staying in Canada yet, but I am switching provinces. I'm moving out with my girlfriend.
Nice. Oh yeah, so you've been with that girl for quite a while now. I think that she's been persistent since at least since your YugiTuber career. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. I've been with her for a long time actually. I've been with her for 5 years now.
So congrats, dude. That's
Thanks,
awesome.
man.
You're finally gonna move away from that like small rock that no one knows about, right? Because
Exactly, exactly.
you're an hour and a half ahead of me, and I'm in New York, so that's
Yeah,
just confusing for everybody.
it's very confusing. That's why I tell everyone, "Hey, my time zone is EST." It's just easier for everyone.
Yeah, it's gotta be like pushing midnight for you right now. So you thinking about
Yeah.
moving to like Quebec, Ontario province, or are you going further?
I think for now I'm gonna stay Eastern.
Yeah.
I did want to go to Ontario for a long time because that is where I was born. So I grew up there for like a good half of my life.
Okay.
Maybe one day I'll go back there. Who can say? Yeah.
So you took at the time of this, it's the sixth, or probably it's the seventh for you actually at this point.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
So you took a little bit of a break, and now you're coming back, and I'm interested to know what you've been doing with the box. You put out your spellproof. I really want to talk about the spellproof armor deck because
Okay.
you have been really like a champion of Bandit Keith since like for pretty much this whole year. Like I think that you tried to make it work back in April, May. We saw the new starter decks come out, and you tried to make it work. And I think that every 6 months or so we see a spellproof armor from you. And this last one's been particularly explosive especially because it got you top 8 in the Speed
Mhm.
Duel League. That huge one, right? That was on the
Yeah.
Saturday, the one with 106 entrants. I just did a video on that because I decided that Interconflict Monarchs can't be ignored, and so I just did a video on that one, and I referenced those stats. But with even though more than half of those topped, you snuck into top 8 with this spellproof armor deck. So I know that it utilizes Jinzo heavily, but I think it's staying away more from Monarchs. I mean, with spellproof armor, you can tribute, you can normal summon normal 5 and 6 stars.
Yeah.
But can you tell me a little bit? I mean, I watched the video, but I want you to kind of take some time to just kind of give me in a nutshell.
Okay, yeah. Honestly, the deck itself is pretty easy to actually play because it is just like a standard beatdown strategy. You just rely on the fact that you have bigger beat sticks than your opponent, and they have very few answers to your beat sticks because they're all immune to spell effects. Um, the overall focus isn't actually on Jinzo. If you can get Jinzo on the field, that's a huge plus. So you don't stray away from getting Jinzo on, but you don't require Jinzo to win your matches. You genuinely just focus on your Colossus. That's why you run 6 copies. Your gear frame is just an 1800. It's also immune to spells, and I mean you can't go wrong with some Zomas, right?
We're seeing Zomas pretty consistently. In fact, I referenced, I think it's Swamp Mirror. That's the other
Yeah,
one. It's like the
yeah.
1800 1000 trap. And Quantum Cat. That one's cute. That's the 0 attack,
Hmm,
2200 defense. Okay, so Jinzo's a secondary win condition because Jinzo covers your traps And if you're lucky enough to get them out, because obviously you're not monarching, you're not prioritizing trying to get the tribute off. Tribute's a
Yep.
secondary effect, which if it works, it works. But primarily, you are countering all of the Book of Moons, all of the shrinks. Those are the ones that we're seeing pretty consistently.
Yeah,
You are
exactly.
making those go away essentially.
Yep.
What's your monster that you consistently get out like turn one, turn two?
We'll spell proof them all with just summoning Colossus. Just normal summon 2300 beat stick is phenomenal. Along with that, one of the big issues that the deck can run into is Kaiser Glider, because it says it can't be killed by a monster with 2400 attack. It has 2200 defense, so Jinzo just can't kill it. But Colossus runs it over in defense fine, which is super super relevant to have.
I did take a double look at that Kaiser Glider because I never played it back in traditional, and it really is like so. It's my understanding that the Monarchs, traditionally, they've been 2400 attack. Like a 6-star monster, 2400 attack is like kind of right down the middle, and we're seeing that with
Yep.
Jinzo, Kaiser Glider, even something. I think Dark Ruler is like 2450, but then you see even
Yep.
Grand Marg is 24. So Kaiser Glider is like a pretty big annoyance to this deck.
Yeah, for sure. Kaiser Glider is a big choice for a lot of the conflict players to deter the like opposing monarchs, and similarly to why you see a lot of people going back on Hades, because it has that 50 extra attack to run them over, and then also negating monster effects is really relevant now with apprentice monarchs being huge and people being on Kaiser Glider a lot. So obviously if you kill a Kaiser Glider, it doesn't have that bounce effect.
Good call. Yeah, I was. When I covered Dark Ruler, the example that I made was Eudoria because I'm still thinking. I'm still kind of in the old meta brain, a little bit.
Gotcha.
But obviously, Apprentice Magician, that's huge because Apprentice Monarchs. So I really think that they're all kind of the same. The only difference is that one's running 3 Apprentice Magician, which is just more fuel. Why don't we have what was the other one? Or the Lizard Warrior? What was the one that also was essentially Apprentice Magician, but it was a lizard? Anyway, I think that it's
Oh,
the
Troop
same.
Dragon.
Troop Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the Troop Dragon deck, right? It's pretty much the
Troop
same
Dragon's
thing.
bad.
It's bad. Yeah, no one played it. I remember when I think it was Trials of the Kingdom that came out. People were trying to play that, but it didn't work. Apprentice Magician
Yeah.
just works so well, especially because it's very. I think it's versatile. I think it's like you can summon up to a 3-star spellcaster. I don't have the
That's
language.
a good question. I don't actually know off the top of my
Yeah.
head either.
Anyway, Apprentice Magician definitely a better, more viable cause. But good call though. I didn't think about that with Hades destroying something like Apprentice Magician. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
keep your fuel going for your tribute, which is huge.
yeah. Basically, the decision conflict players are making now is whether they want to stick to the more traditional OTK strategy, beatdown strategy, using things like your Gaias, your Vorst Raiders, and immensely, hugely your Breakers, because you have the option to have a 1900 or a back row removal. So Breaker is amazing. Or if you want to go for a more stally build, but the main uh, use for the whole apprentice package is to constantly have fodder for your monarchs, right? So whether you focus more so on the one tribute OTK or constantly have fodder and potentially get extra pops off of your breakers, because apprentice magician does give breaker another counter.
For sure. And it's funny because now we're shifting towards the fact that you can get more counters. Because people, before Battle City Box, you played Dr. Dre, the Dark Red Enchanter, and
Yeah,
it's pretty much, you got 2 counters, you blow 2 counters, that's that. We really didn't see counters build. And, with something like Breaker, you get immediate gratification with Breaker, which is why I love it so much. It's either like, do you want a dope ass 4-star monster, or do you want to pop a spell? And you can be 1600, but you're still a monster. That's why I think Breaker isn't going to go away. And a good point that you said with Gaia, charging Gaia, because
yeah,
similar to Breaker, it gives you the choice. I think that that's
yeah,
huge, especially if you're playing something like Interconflict Monarch, because you really could tribute for charging Gaia if you wanted to. I don't know, like you'd have to be pretty desperate, I think, because there are so many better
yeah,
options. But it gives you the choice. I think that's what's great about it. But
yeah, exactly. And there's actually something really, really relevant about charging Gaia in this format, and that's the fact that Book of Moon exists in this format. If your opponent is forced to book your Gaia, when you flip it back up, it's a 2300 now.
no way, really?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, I totally missed that. So you could essentially book a moon your own charging Gaia if you really wanted
Yeah.
to like be super meta about it. 'Cause I think there was another good reason to book yourself. Oh no, I was covering the Union and the Valkyria decks, and a great utilization is if you quick play shrink yourself with magnetic field to bounce to hand in terms of getting rid of maybe like an XYZ Union that you don't necessarily want in the graveyard because the player can use it to banish or bring back to the field, whatever. But that's a good call. Like it all comes back to I love how the format's shifting towards utilizing quick play spells on yourself potentially
Yeah.
for your own game. That's really cool. Yeah, it's something I missed. Nice.
Yeah. No, honestly, I think my favorite deck of this format, I don't know how much you've been playing the new decks this format. I've been playing them a lot. My favorite deck is definitely Magnets. I was able to snag up a top 4 in Tetris tournament with the Magnets.
I got to look at Tetris stuff for sure. I know that he had one recently. I know that obviously Magnets. I feel like it's going to be Magnets XYZ and Monarchs are they're going to top for sure. I think I caught a glimpse of Tetras. I know that Winnabox 6 is going on right now at the time of this one. So we'll see.
Mm.
But I think it's going to be pretty much the same thing. I think we're going to see a preview and spread. But you know what's funny? I think that we're going to see XYZ drop off solely in terms of interest. Like I don't think it's not a bad deck. In fact,
No, no,
at the
no.
very beginning, it seemed like it was going to be the best deck. Just because it was so much more big brain. Like remember before Battle City when you just like frickin' parasited things, and that was that.
I
You
do
got
remember
Moth out and
that.
you win.
Yep.
And then interconflict, it introduced a little bit of the Monarch format with the Jinzo. Especially people that
Yeah.
are playing online, they had the Jinzo, but now we're seeing some bigger brain stuff. And part of me is wondering if the folks that clearly it's very clear that Speed Duel was geared towards, for the most part, Speed Duel seemed to be geared towards folks that played Yu-Gi-Oh 10 years ago and want
Hmm.
to play it again, but they don't want to pendulum summon, link summon, etc. And so they were looking for a more simplistic kind of format. That's what it was for a year. Battle
Yep.
City Box all of a sudden XYZ. I'm not saying that it's complicated. It's not that complicated. You got a bunch of different options, but it's very straightforward, read on the cards. But I'm wondering if it's going to be a deck that people are going to shy away from just because they don't want to take the time to learn it. I mean, obviously these champions of the online community, and that's really where a lot of the meta is being kind of formulated and evolved right now. They're going to use it for sure. Interesting to see though if you go to like your locals, if it's going to be used.
Yeah, I got you. I don't know. I think a lot of people might start to stray away from XYZ for a huge fact that every single deck, every single person who's playing in a tournament is siding for XYZ because it shows up so often and there's so many good side deck answers to it that like because there's so many answers to it, there's almost no reason not to side deck at least 3 cards for the matchup, right?
Yeah, like you're seeing everybody Lost Wind, for example.
Yeah.
Lost Wind was one that, it honestly totally blew over my head when I was looking through the box cards because it seems so specific, but I didn't
Hmm.
realize just how prevalent a card like XYZ or a deck like XYZ is going to be. And of course, it makes sense. You see these cookie cutter decks, as I call them, the magnets and the XYZ. You see them, you're like, okay, I see what they're trying to do. They're clearly trying to kind of shoehorn in this deck, and it's supposed to be good because they put all these cards in. And usually, when a TCG does that, it's like not great, and people still find other weird stuff to do. Case in
Yeah.
point, Monarchs. But XYZ and magnets are making enough of a splash to be top.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, yeah.
And then you got your spellproof armor, which I would say is a deep rogue right now. I mean, it did top 8. What did you end up losing to in that tournament?
I actually lost my top 8 to XYZ, and shout out to Lucas Gaylord. He pointed out to me afterwards that I lost that match because of a misplay.
What was the misplay?
So I didn't even think about this until Lucas brought it up to me. When your opponent summons a fusion monster, right? And you reset your lost win from the graveyard, you gave yourself a response window.
Really? Oh, because
Yes,
Lost Wind has the Home
because
Shrine like effect where you can banish it.
yeah, so well, Lost Wind when it's engraved and your opponent special summons from the extra deck, you can reset the Lost Wind, right? So obviously skill effects, as you know, the entire community should be aware by now, they have an open game state and there's no response window available, right?
Right.
But when Lost Wind resets itself, that's obviously not a skill effect. It's being reset. You can respond to your own Lost Winds effect, which means I could have flipped up my book, set the XYZ Dragon Cannon that he summoned, and stopped him from ever using its effect to start off with. So I
Okay.
could have just completely avoided that, kept my Core Destroyer on field, and just kept on walking into his
So
monsters.
he was gonna set up the effect to drop a card to the grave to destroy something
Yep.
with XYZ. Right.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's something that, like, I know that people that are there are going to be some people that are listening to this. They're like, "What is going on? This is like a fifth level of thinking about the game." And then there are going to be other people that are like, "Yeah, duh." You know what I'm
Come on,
saying?
man. You missed that?
It's all just part of learning. Because I personally didn't, I didn't play with the XYZ and magnet stuff when it was big in the TC in like the regular TCG.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
a little bit ahead of that when it was a little more advanced. I think I started playing competitively around Synchros,
Yeah.
which was well
Gotcha.
beyond that. So it's, yeah, you're going to see some diehard fans know those rulings by heart. And clearly, as we see in the community, which has been a great resource, but that's crazy. Yeah, Lucas Gaylord is a big contender of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy Discord,
Yeah.
which that was the Discord that I referenced when I did the top two, when I profiled the XYZ and the Valkyrian. So makes sense. Those guys know those rulings.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But yeah, we haven't seen you particularly play in any of these tournaments yet.
Yeah, I was
When are we
wondering if
gonna
you were going to
see?
ask that.
When are we gonna see Rook hit the table?
So I'm planning on doing Justice's thing on the 17th
Okay.
for sure. I thought that I had a window to enter Speed Duel League's Winnabox 6 because I have a deck that I want to try, but I missed that
Mhm.
window, so I'm not in it. But
Gotcha.
Justice's tournament on January 17th. And by the time these come out, we might be at the end of January because I do want to try and record a bunch of these before I release them so that I can stay committed. It's easier when you have like 4 or 5 already done than if you release the first one. You're like, ah, shoot, now I got to make a bunch more. Content
Yeah.
creators, you know
Yeah.
what's up. But
Oh yeah.
so I'm gonna do Justices on the 17th. I think I cleared it with my wife. I think I'm in the clear. So excited! I love those ones that are like only like a day long. I like getting it all out of the way. Also, I made like an undercover dueling book profile. I don't know why I didn't do that before, but like one of the reasons when I was like making decks, I'm trying to make like Beast Warriors and stuff like that. And one of the
Oh.
reasons there were a bunch of times where I make a deck, and I'm like, oh, I should play this. I'm like, wait, I don't want to. This is so egotistical. I don't want to like tarnish the Rook's Table's name. No, I just want to like not get people know who I am a little bit. Wow, that's also egotistical. Okay, let's cut that out. Anyway,
Oh. Oh.
just
Oh.
kidding.
Oh. Oh. I want to throw something in. I want to throw something in.
All right, yeah, what's up?
Congrats on 1K
Thanks,
subs.
dude. Thanks, dude. Oh yeah, at the time we're recording this on the 6th, and I hit 1K subs today. Shortly after the Monarchs profile or deck guide. Because this was the year where I seriously broadcasted it to like all my Facebook friends and family, and it was a huge boost. It was great. I just wanted to see if I could do it without their help, but this year was like let's make it known, and we got there. But anyway, I'm definitely doing Justice's thing, and I'm doing some testing, kind of undercover on Dueling Book, just to make sure that I know what I'm talking about before I do these kind of videos, and as I'm sure that you're aware of. And also, dude, we have to play a lot. Like I think that we can play a lot of we can do a lot of like joint stream. Remember we did the joint stream for Pokemon Showdown? I
I
think
do
that we can
remember
do
that.
that. I almost think that I figured out how to use my phone as a secondary webcam so that I can like have a camera on me and have the face down camera for the remote duel, because remote duel is so much more fun to stream. People love that, and I love that. One of the reasons why I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed Duel over Duel Links is because I like holding cards in my hand. So
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool. I think that we could totally do some of that, and I think that would be really fun. So
Yeah. That could be a
I'm
good
ready
bit of
for you
fun.
to be my sparring buddy as we kind of go into this box, especially because I really want to make Mass Beast as Guardius work. I don't know. It's still tinkering. It's still in the tinkering phase. But clearly, you already found your rogue kind of stride with the spellproof armor.
Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna play Spellproof Armor anymore this format.
You're going to your wait. Spellcasters are good now. You're going to your spellcaster OTK, right?
Nah, nah. I'm playing Magnets, man. Honestly, Magnets are such a fun deck. So, like I said, I played it in Tetra's tournament. That was a 56-player tournament, and I got top 4 with the deck, right?
Yep.
So, I played it throughout it, and it's such a fun deck to play. Like, Spellproof is kind of like it's a fairly brain dead beatdown deck, but Magnets is a lot more thought provoking and it's a control heavy deck. And I found out that I enjoy control strategies thoroughly. So I'm really enjoying Magnets, and I think that's going to be my deck for the format.
That's great to hear. Because I think the magnets is a cool theme, like as a like just cosmetically, as an appearance. Looking at the
Yeah.
magnets, and as I mentioned time and time again, it's great to see that a lot of decks that people want to play are moving away from herder. These individual cards are broken. They all work together. Like how before the box, you could win just because you zomed twice. Think about
Yeah.
something like that. I mean, you could still do that, but before the box, aside from Dark Moth, it really seemed like there were a lot of decks where it was like all these cards are good on their own, put them together, and now it's
Mhm.
more very heavily synergized, thought provoking, and it really makes you think, which is great. And I know I've seen it firsthand that we're turning some new people onto this format because of that, especially some Duel Links players that I've talked to because they're just looking to get in a physical card game. I don't know if you're trying to get into the card game right now. It's very hard because you have no one to play with unless you're doing remote. But I swear, guys, it's going to be worth it because I'm just so excited to play locals. I'm going to go to
Oh
locals
yeah.
with like all of the the Speed Duel League and Yu-Gi-Oh Legacy knowledge, and people are going to be like, "What are you? Who are you?"
Who's
Be
this
like,
man?
"Don't you know who I am?" Yeah, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
uh,
So what's you got something you're working on now? What's next for you? So last at this time of recording, the last thing we saw, I think you're still going strong on the Yugi-Kaiba format, which I know is a little less popular. Something that we tried to play together, and of course I wanted to play Exodia, and you played whatever Blue Eyes and Lajin is like the card that's like I'm gonna beat everything up, and
yes.
I couldn't draw Exodia because there's no what is it? One Day of Peace, Allure of Darkness. There's no
Yeah.
hero,
Yeah.
none of that. How is that going? Have you been playing those?
I've been playing a bit of Yugi-Kaiba format. I don't go into it much because I don't have that many people to play with. And yes, I can play on format library and stuff like that. But I find it more fun to play Yugi-Kaiba format just with like some friends, just hang out and do it as like more like a casual thing. But no, yeah, I was really really excited to do that last Yugi-Kaiba video because I did it with Yugi Nono. He's a fairly big person in the advanced format Yu-Gi-Oh community, and he was the person who first got me into Yugi-Kaiba format. So the fact that I got to do a video with him was honestly amazing.
Did you know Yugi no No before? Were you guys personal friends before, or did you watch a video of his and be like, "That's something I want to play," and now you're meeting your personal hero? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, yeah. I watched a video of his. I was like, he did an introduction on Yugi-Kaiba format video, and I was like, wow, this format seems like a lot of fun. I'm gonna try it. So I tried it, loved it, and hit him up after when I was doing like the whole Yugi-Kaiba week thing, and I was like, hey, would you be interested in doing a video with me? And he got back to me and he said, yeah, sure. And I was like, that's awesome.
That's insane. And looking at his stuff, I mean, he's no joke. It's crazy that you did he do anything in that video that you did? Because like that video should be much more popular. This guy is. I mean, you're right. This guy's advanced. He does all sorts of stuff, and I think that's
Yeah,
something that
yeah,
kind of cuts us short just a little bit. Is that we don't do too much advanced stuff. Like I'll open the rogue box if I think I'm going to make money, but that's about it. And I think that some of these guys get a lot of their stride with the advanced stuff. But that's really cool because this guy seems huge. He's bigger than MBT, or like those guys that were in a vaults thing,
yeah.
which is cool. So wow, didn't even realize that's pretty cool, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a blast. But as for Speed Duel content, I had video record it and I was editing it, and then work hit me like a truck, and I was like, oh god, I have to work again, so I have to like manage my time again. So yeah, I'm getting through that. So that'll probably be out like on the 7th, which this video will probably be out after that. But yeah,
Yeah, this will be
um,
out. This will be out after that, so you'll have your stuff out. But I wanted to ask a question, just for anybody that's. I get a lot of people DMing me on Discord. And I think we talked about this, but a lot of people have asked me and said, I'm thinking about doing my own YouTube videos and being a Yugi tuber, and what's the process like? And I can go ahead. I'm very lucky because I have Premiere Pro, which my wife's a graphic designer, so I get it for free, which is something that a lot of people don't have.
Hmm.
But looking at you, you have some natural graphic design talent. Clearly, just looking at your thumbnails and how you totally sent me some transparent things for free. Okay, I will publicly disclose I did not crop that box myself. That was all him. But what's your timeline like when you're recording? What's the do you find that it's harder to record or edit, and what's the time frame that you typically find you're using for both?
Um, I'd say recording will usually hit me around 40 minutes for the video recording session, and then editing obviously depends on the video. Like for example, going for like a deck profile or an opening video is very little editing, but doing like one of those like discussion videos, there's like a few hours into that for actually editing the video down.
The discussion videos like it's the your face on camera, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because sometimes I wonder if it's worth. I have a lot of verbal kind of hiccups that I do, and I tend to try to edit a lot of those out. And sometimes I wonder if it's even worth it. Like I'm sure you hear them when we're just talking together, but sometimes I wonder if people even pick up on that stuff. Like yeah, I just released a video today where I stopped mid conversation to cough, and I didn't catch that one, and I was like, whatever. And so I'm wondering, it's like and this can go back to like anybody, clearly anyone trying to make YouTube content, so it's not just us. But like I'm wondering if any of that is worth its time, because I think that like really as we get more confident and as we get more I don't want to say notoriety, but as people are more acclimated to the Speed Duel format and like to listen to us, how much that really matters.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I don't know. I think it's almost like being a little bit of like a perfectionist when you're doing like your whole editing process and you hit something and you're like, ah, yes, I did a little mess up in the middle there. I guess I'll cut that out, fix this up, and bada bing, bada boom.
For sure. I think that everybody feels that way. But all right, let's wrap this up. I think that I think it's been very productive. Well, thank you so much for coming on, guys. If you're listening to this, I have no idea what I'm doing or what this is called or what number of if this is an episode of something. I have no idea what this is, but I hope that you enjoyed it. I just like talking to my buddy Cursive. You guys can check him out at youtube.com/ is it Cursive? What's your link?
Curseof YGO.
If we type in youtube.com/cursive YGO, will we get there?
YouTube.com/C/curseof YGO will bring you to my channel.
And you got a Twitter?
I do have a Twitter. My Twitter is at curseofz.
The Curse of Z. That's right. Oh, yeah, you initially I know that you have an artist behind the scenes that's working with you. But I remember that initially your initial kind of artwork was you with a Dratini around your shoulders. So you had a
Yes.
previous kind of Pokemon background, is that right?
Yes, yes, I did.
Did you do any kind of content behind Pokemon before? I know we streamed Showdown for fun, a couple months ago, which was cool. But
Mhm.
did you ever have something around that?
Yeah, I did. I had um like multiple channels where I did nothing but Pokemon content, and I was like super heavy into the Showdown competitively and just doing like playthroughs of like ROM hacks and stuff like that. Yeah, I was pretty deep into the Pokemon scene for a while there.
You said multiple channels. That's gotta be hard. I've only done the one channel, so I'm not as involved in this. And sometimes I wish that I got more involved earlier at a younger age. Like I think you're probably much younger than me, so
Mhm.
sometimes I wonder that. In fact, wait, we can cut this if you don't want to talk about it. But was it you that said that you started as a Minecraft channel?
Yeah, no, you can leave this in. And yes, yes, I did start as a Minecraft channel. I was, oh, how old was I? Oh
What, you
man,
were
I
like
gotta think.
15, 14? Oh man, I wish I had the
Might have been.
balls that you did at that age. That's crazy. Like when I was 20, I wanted to do YouTube stuff for Hearthstone, and I didn't do it because I was too afraid. And now here
Oh
I
man,
am, 26, 27, doing the Speed Duel stuff, and I wish that I started 6 years ago. I always wanted to
Yeah,
do card games, but yeah, Minecraft, that's crazy. You could have struck it really big. That's insane.
yeah. I mean, if I wasn't a child with like one of those squeaky voices and really really bad recording software, who knows? Who
Those
knows?
guys
But
make it. I'm just saying, those
those
guys make
guys,
it. No, but
they get something.
you heard it here first, folks. Cursive started as a Minecraft kid, and he should not be belittled for it. He is a champion. All right, he's a courageous man.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh
I
boy.
try my hardest.
Anyway, you wanna play Yu-Gi-Oh now?
I'd love to play
My
Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's
deck's
play
really
Yu-Gi-Oh.
bad. So are we trying to do? We're doing the gods, right?
Yep.
And which god do you have?
I have Slaver.
You have Slifer. That's cheating.
What do you
That's
mean
the
this
best
cheating?
one.
He's in my channel art.
You're gonna laugh at this, but
Oh.
I thought of like, how do I play Obelisk? How do I play it where Obelisk is gonna come out all the time? And I just did my Monarch deck, so my obvious answer was, oh, he requires 3 tributes, for all the crap to go off. So I'll just like super Monarch the heck out of him. So, okay, get this. This is the deck that I wish I could have built, but I didn't because I don't know where those cards are. Okay, so picture this: Enchanted Fitting Room. All right,
Okay.
with 3 Sonic Duck, 2 Dragon Zombie, 2 Armored Zombie. Okay,
Okay.
and Swamp Mirror, and Quantum Cat, and Zoma, and Gillosaurus. No, I'm just kidding. Not all of those. But some combination of those, along with Soul Exchange, we got... No, I can't use Inner Conflict because I'm using It's No Monster, It's a God.
Yes, yes, naturally.
But the push was to figure out how do I get 3 monsters on the field and keep them alive. Oh, also, of course, a bunch of, like, classic... like, what's the trap that's really good right now? Something Ruin. That's a great
Oh,
one.
Widespread Ruin.
Widespread Ruin. People are using
Yeah.
that left and
I,
right.
I
That's a
think
great
it's a mediocre trap, and people are overhyping it, but that's my opinion.
Okay, so like when I saw that trap, I was like, the fact that it's a trap, and it's you destroy the monster with the highest attack. So when I played Advanced TCG back in 2011, I thought the Dimensional Prison was like the hottest card in town. I ran 3 of it in every deck, and Deep Prison is Deep Prison is essentially like when your opponent's monster declares an attack, banish it. Like that's it. I
Yeah.
thought it was great. That is essentially what Widespread Ruin is. It conditions people into poking with their weenies first, because you can't Widespread Ruin the weenie. The attack will still go through. I don't know. I think that like we're reverse psychologying ourselves, because at first it was like, don't use traps because of Jinzo. Use all these quick play spells, and then it's like, wait, but Spell Canceller and also something like Freed and a bunch of other things that negate spells and like work around spells, especially Book of Moon.
Yeah.
And
See,
now we're playing traps again.
my big thing with Widespread, and I have to say this about anyone who's still in Nightmare Wheel too, is the fact that we're in a breaker format, right?
For sure, for sure.
Breaker, the Magical Warrior, is a 3 of in every single conflict deck. And with that in mind, if your back row isn't chainable, your opponent is going plus. And if they're a continuous trap, then it doesn't matter if it's chainable, your opponent's going plus. So your back row needs to be extremely powerful and worth it if it is not a chainable back row. And I don't think that Widespread Ruin offers that necessary power to make it worth it as a back row card. I think Zoma offers that necessary power. I mean, being able to burn your opponent in a 4,000 life point format is huge, especially with Conflict Monarchs being one of the most prevalent decks running around. But I don't think Widespread has that necessary power to make it a card that should be played.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the reason I agree with that is because you're right. It's very single target. Like Zoma acts the same way that Inner Conflicts acts, where it's like you're Zomaing because you don't care about your own life points. Like
Yeah.
it's not about defending yourself. It's about going for the throat of your opponent.
Exactly. You're going for the kill. Whether you're using it as a beatdown or you're using it to burn them to death, you're going for the kill.
Yeah, and you see these decks use like Sphere Creepo, which is the best hand trap in the game right now. That's good defense for a couple reasons from a quick play effect standpoint.
Mhm.
But yeah, something like Widespread Ruin caught me off guard, and I didn't list it as a staple in my staples video because I thought I kind of looked over it like, all right, you're destroying a monster. Initially, somebody would say, oh, that's better than Windstorm because Windstorm just puts you in defense, and you see all those people like Windstorm, the one monster, because it was freaking July of 2019, and people use Windstorm Kunai and they put things in defense. But now it's like, oh, why put it in defense when I can destroy it? Well, people like destroyed monsters now. Like I was saying,
Yeah.
the graveyard is fuel. There's no Necro Valley to stop you. Clearly, Gravekeepers. I haven't even seen them. You're using the graveyard to bring back to field, or you're banishing, or you're bringing back to hand. And there's all sorts of play. I made this joke in a previous video that's like, it's funny how we went from like, we don't know what banished is in Speed Duel format to all of a sudden like, oh, there's a banish now, but also you can like, it's not really banished. You can bring it
Yeah,
back
I'll
to
just
the field if
activate
you
my
want.
Union Scramble.
Union Scramble. Yeah, bring it back to the field. That's fine. You want to you want to fuse? Yeah, you can do that. And it's funny because eventually, what is it like removed from play, and ended up being like, all right, for real, but also not for real. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
ready for us to go
yeah.
there. Yeah, I don't see it as very strong. I think that like in an early meta format, it's a shocking trap because it's
Mhm.
reverse psychology against the Jinzo. People are playing Monarchs and it's not necessarily Jinzo, and I know a lot of people don't want to play Jinzo necessarily because everyone's playing Jinzo. A lot of contrarians. People obviously, if you're playing Speed Duel instead of Advanced TCG, you might be a contrarian already. So you want to be a black sheep. You want to be against the meta, and Jinzo has been at least in the online community a pretty consistent meta piece. So if you're not playing
Yeah.
against it, then that's a great card to use. But I
Oh, yeah.
agree. I think that because it only targets one, it's not as great as it could be.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've run into widespread so many times, and it killed my monster, and then it just didn't end up mattering like 90% of the time. So
And you're the one that's actually playing these tournaments. So I'm just playing around with my friends over here. So you know what's up. And you top aided with Spellproof Armor, which let's see that again. Am I right? I feel like it takes a true champion that really knows and has a passion for the deck to do that. So congratulations there.
thanks, man. I mean, honestly, like this is like my best format for me so far. With like my top 8 and my top 4 so early on into the format, it's pretty good.
Are you going to try and do a dark, some sort of spellcaster OTK?
See, like I want to, but like the deck hasn't really evolved at all. I'd have to like see if I can think of something like new and innovative. But
Have you thought about what do you think of Blue Eyes right now? What do you think of Dragon Caller? There was one card.
Dragon Color's garbage.
It's been garbage since pretty much Nightmare Wheel Zoma came out, right? Match of Millennium, Twisted Nightmares. But
Yeah,
what is there? There's a fusion. No, not a fusion. There's a ritual. Uh, there's a ritual champion card for Blue Eyes right now.
yeah, Paladin and White Dragon.
Yeah, and it lets you like special summon a Blue Eyes, I guess.
Yep.
Good luck with that, friends. Did you know that,
It's
that Blue Eyes, the secret rare Blue Eyes, is worth like $14 right now, US?
Oh, really?
Yeah, turns
Oh,
out.
I got 2.
Yeah, I have one. I thought that the Cosmic Cyclone would be worth more, to be honest, because I thought Cosmic Cyclone was used more in Advanced. But anyway, they're all worth like $3, $4 at least. But this Blue Eye, of course, the Blue Eyes is worth like $14. It's the Charizard of the game. So
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, the Paladin variant of Blue Eyes is better than Dragon Color now.
So Dragon Color is officially dead. So it
Yeah.
does leave you room to use another skill if you really want to.
Yeah, no, Dragon Color just it can't be good anymore. Not with I mean Offerings was like honestly the nail in the coffin for the deck. And now we have every deck playing 3 of Book of Moon, which just does the same thing. So
All right. Well, I think that I said that I was ending it, but now I'm officially ending it. So
if this is being uploaded after I have received my product in the mail, Curse of YGO now has branded Speed Duel mats, so you should check that out.
oh my god! Of course I will wait. Curse of YGO Speed Duel Mat. What's the retail price? Can I get one right here, right now? Let me go. Got you with PayPal.
You cannot. I need to still work that out.
Man, I made the one Rook's table mat to me. That's it. I'm not ready for merch, but dude, Curse of YGO. That's a classy mat. I'm
Hell
excited
yeah.
for that, guys. You can check them out at youtube.com/c/Curse of YGO. Also Twitter at Curse of Z. I hope you guys check him out. Thank you so much, guys.